Helvellyn, a mountain of significance and a mountain of real meaning, a magical mountain, one of the best the UK has to offer. This journey wasn't just a mountain climb, but this was a hike into the heavens to see my dad, who died 4 years ago to the day of this climb. The route called the Stairway to Heaven really was that.
We are back in action, everyone. Back in action, happy days, happy trekking. And today, yes, I'm climbing Helvellyn. It's an absolutely magical, meaningful mountain. And do you know what, I'll be honest, I'm focusing on online business nowadays. And I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to do the YouTubing anymore on my trekking, but I took about 10 steps into this hike. And I just thought, do you know what, this is what I love. And even though I've got other focuses now, I can't come away from my hiking YouTubing. Even if only 10 people watch it, I don't care. I just love hiking, I love recording, I love giving motivational messages to people and to inspire you to get outside walking. Oh, I have climbed Helvellyn before, several times actually, via Striding Edge, which is voted the #1 of the UK's best walking routes. And it's the third highest mountain in England, Helvellyn. And this time I'm going up a new route that I haven't gone up before. From Helvellyn, which is called the Stairway to Heaven. It's a more gradual route up for beginners, and it's a nice steady incline. Oh, I say steady incline. But when I get to the summit, I'm then going to take you along Striding Edge, a knife edge scramble around Swirral Edge that comes back down the other side. It's an exhilarating scramble, not one if you've got a fear for heights, but it's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to show you. If you've never climbed Helvellyn before, this is going to open your eyes to what a magical mountain it really is. Well, I'm going to find out for myself exactly why this route up is called the Stairway to Heaven. But I already know the views from the summit of Helvellyn, especially on a day like today. I just know they're absolutely one of the best views you're going to get in the Lake District. And that might be why you're walking up to that heavenly view. But maybe there's another reason of the actual route itself, who knows. But for me, it's got another meaning for why it's a heavenly route. And I'm going to explain a bit about that. It's the anniversary of my dad's death. 4 years ago, my dad died of motor neurone disease and frontal lobe dementia. Today, or to the day. And so this climb has a massive, massive meaning for me. So if you're new to happy trekking or haven't seen many of my other videos, then I started my hiking when I started prioritising my health, because I suddenly realised, having dropped 7 stone in weight and given up alcohol, I was now fit enough to start achieving some fitness goals. One of those being mountains and long distance hikes. And I know the benefits of mental well-being that hiking can bring. Sometimes I even forget that myself until I'm actually out there hiking. And I'm not talking about going for a walk on a Sunday afternoon. I'm talking about hiking. I'm talking about mountain climbing. Just getting out there in pure nature like this. And that's the reason I created my channel, was to record these hikes to provide inspiration for everybody else. So if you're someone that is struggling with their health, and you are struggling with maybe alcohol, drinking to excess, you're overweight, I really want you to start thinking long term. And I know it's hard to lose the weight, to give up the alcohol, or anything else that's holding you back in your life right now. But if you just fight through that process, opt for that short-term discomfort, you will eventually start reaping the benefits to that. It will take a while, it will take some months or maybe a year, maybe a couple of years, but you've got to think long term, you've got to be patient, and you've got to opt for hardship, because through that process is where the benefits are going to take place in the future. We always have to, number one, keep an eye on where we are and our next step, but the second eye has to be on our vision, on our identity that we're trying to create for ourselves, and it will open up doors that you didn't think were possible. I've managed to now climb 15 of the UK's highest summits, the highest summit in Morocco, Mount Chubkal, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't go through the suffering that it took to lose weight, give up alcohol, sacrifice my fun and enjoyment for that long-term gain. So that's something I really want you to start doing in your life, is thinking long-term and believing that the benefits to what you're going to do, what you're going to have to go through, will finally be worth it in the near future. Step after step after step after step, and your future is up there. That is where the glory is, and that is where your focus should be. Well, there you go. You can start to see why it is called the Stairway to Heaven. Look at that. Like, the sun seems so close to the mountain. My dad was dying from motor neurone disease and dementia back in 2020. I came to Helvellyn to take on Striding Edge, which is where we're heading now, which is a knife edge scramble, drops either side. And I went there with a friend of mine once, and I stood on the ridge looking out to Striding Edge. I thought, nah, couldn't do it, I had to go back down. I was too scared. But when I was facing the fear of losing my dad, I couldn't go back on that journey. I had to face that fear. And there's no hope with motor neurone disease. You are given 2 years to live. Well, my dad was, and he died 2 years to the day. And there's nothing anybody could do about it. So I wanted to go back to Helvellyn to take on Striding Edge, to not give myself a choice to turn back. I wanted to face that fear, which was a similar fear to losing my dad. And I sort of resembled the mountain to the journey that we were going to go on as a family. And I got back to that point where I turned back round last time, and I knew I had no option. And that's where we're going now. We're going back to Striding Edge to face that fear again, although it's not the same fear as it was, because when we push ourselves into fear and we overcome it, our comfort zone gets bigger, and my comfort zone from that experience has got bigger, and less things fear me now. So this now, I'm going back, it's like a playground for me now. But 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was terrified. And that's the same with life, you know. When things happen that we find difficult, it's all part of our character building. It's all part of developing resilience. So when other things in life come and challenge us, we're better equipped to deal with it. It's all mental toughness, and that's how it's developed, through the hard, emotional, fearful challenges that we face in life. And that's what I wanted to tackle, Striding Edge. I wanted to face that fear when I went there in 2020, because I wanted to get used to fear, because I knew I was going to have to face it in losing my dad to motor neurone disease. So I can't wait to show you this point, because it has such meaning for me. And I think we have to generate meaning through every experience that we go through. In your life, you have to find another meaning in order to get yourself through that. Because it's challenging and it's tough and it's heartbreaking. And life is not easy. If you can find meaning and you can find another purpose, you're going to give yourself a much better chance of overcoming that hurdle, seeing that obstacle through to the finish, and growing as a person. So I classed Striding Edge as the journey that me and my dad and the family were going to have to go on, that we were going to have to face. And the summit of Helvellyn, I signified as my dad's death. That's the summit. That's where we are going to end up. We knew that. There was nothing any doctor could do about that. So the summit was Helvellyn, and I got my dad a summit rock when I stood on that summit, where I've achieved my fears, I conquered my fears, And I brought my dad back a summit rock and I said, Dad, this signifies we can get through this journey together. We can reach the summit. As hard and as heartbreaking as it's going to be. So I'm on the stairway to my dad, the stairway to heaven, whether he's there or whether he's waiting in the resurrection, wherever he may be. I'm on the stairway to see my dad, and he's up there waiting for me. I know he is. I'm on the way, old chap. It's beautiful, isn't it? What a lovely path that takes you to the summit of one of the best mountains in the UK. Via Swirral car park. If anybody's interested in climbing this way, you don't have to tackle Striding Edge, by the way, to go this route. You can just turn back up to the top of the summit and come back down this way. So it's very easy. The fearful bit is an optional route, which I'll show you in a minute. But if you just want to experience an absolute magical mountain, this is a lovely route to go on. Ah, we're getting close. So that there is Cat's Eye Cam Mountain, and this here is Swirral Edge. I'll be going down this way. Try and get the camera. It is a knife edge scramble. It is dodgy. And then it goes up here, and I'll show you Striding Edge in a minute. But look at that view straight away. That's where I'm going to be. Well, this path here takes you to the summit of Helvellyn. This one takes you to the start of Swirral Edge, which is right beside each other really. But yeah, the summit's going to wait for now. That's a lovely view from Cat's Eye Cam. I haven't seen it from this angle before. There's another mountain on the Helvellyn range, and look at that, just standing up like that, like an erect penis. Living the dream, boss. Happy trekking. Happy days indeed, governor. So after the stairway to heaven for the summit is there. I'm not going there just yet, I haven't earned the right. But that's the path. You can go up there and go straight back down that way again. No danger, no fear. But without fear, there's no challenge. Without challenge, there's no growth. Without growth, there's no life. So I am going to be going down there to Cat's Eye Cam. I'm going to be going around Red Tarn and then to the famous Striding Edge. See those people just there? Oh, the camera's not doing it any justice now. Can you see them? Little tiny ants on the vertical drop of Striding Edge. Lovely jubbly. And what I will be doing up my shoelaces, tightening up my boots for this bit. Now I am going to try and get as much footage as possible on this scramble so you get a real eye opener for the trail in case you want to do this route. But I'm going to be very limited because I might need both my hands and it is a bit dodgy at certain points, so I'll do my best. Right, let's go. Let's tackle Swirral Edge. You can find these other sort of routes sort of around, or you can stick to the top of the pinnacle. I quite like to scramble across the top. You just got to be careful, get your footing correct, take your time, don't get too overconfident, and just take one step at a time. Well, I've made it down from up there. came down there just now. That was the footage I just showed you. Coming down here now, it gets a little bit easier now. There's one little bit of a dodgy bit here, I think. Yeah, the ideal thing to do if you are scrambling is just to make sure you have all 4 points of contact on the rocks at all times, both feet, both hands, unless you're obviously taking risks like me with the phone in one hand. But yeah, so then if your foot slips, you've got your arm strength to be able to stop you falling, and if one of your arms obviously can't grip to a rock, then you've got both your feet and another hand, so you've got 3 points of contact. I think it is the worst part of Swirral Edge over with. I think it gets a little bit easier now. It's just that you can follow this path around here. It's Striding Edge, which is more difficult, more technical, and there's a place called the Chimney, which is a vertical down climb that there is really no way around the chimney. This was the little dodgy bit I was talking about. It's like a little step. There's a bit of a vertical drop down there, so you've got to really watch your footing along. This is the only path you've got to get across. If you make a mistake there, woohoo, see ya. So I'm going to put my camera away because I'm here to be inspirational, but I'm not here to be stupid. There's a path here that takes you around the tarn and up to Striding Edge. But it'd be rude not to pay Cat's Eye Cam a visit while I'm here. That was a very quick burst up Cat's Eye Cam. I'm very impressed with my fitness levels, I must say. And here we go. Ah. Whew. First summit of the day. Cat's Eye Cam. Red tarn, sunshine glistening majestically off the waters of beauty. I could make a great poet, couldn't I? And that is Striding Edge. And that is Swirral Edge. And that is a dog. Dog Gov? And now approaching Red Tarn. It's a lovely tarn just underneath the summit of Helvellyn, which is there. And looking down upon us is Striding Edge. You can see those people on the top there. That's where I will be very shortly. Look at that guy there, that knife-edge scramble to the summit of Helvellyn. This bit here, there's a chimney that takes you down, and then you go up to the summit, up that bit there. Well, from the tarn I've come all the way up this path where you can see those women are climbing. A bit of a steep slog that was, but I'm now on the path to fear. That's the chimney, that big boulder, then goes straight down, and then that's the climb to the summit. So we are on Striding Edge. This is the point where I came to the first time with my friend Gary Charters, and this was the point where I panicked and turned around the other way and went home. And this is the point where I came back to do it with my dad and did it the second time. And, it's just that quite beautiful, and the big steep climb to the summit. So it's similar to life really. Just don't fear the future. Just put one foot in front of the other. Am I okay here? Yes, I am. Well then don't look up. Just carry on putting one foot in front of the other. And that is how you face fear. You don't look at it from afar. You just face the next step. Okay, it's a bit daunting, but you're looking ahead again. Keep your feet. Am I okay? Yes. Can I step there? Yes. Just do it. Can I step on the next bit? Yes. So just concentrate on your next foot, and that is the same in life. The views out there, look at that. Beautiful Lake District. Bit of a steep drop down there. We'll stick to this ridge. And this will take us along Striding Edge. This is Striding Edge, and it will take us to a downward vertical drop called the Chimney, which is a bit of a point of no return. So once you get to that point, once you go down it, there's no return. You have to keep going to the summit, really. So yeah, it's a point where I was fearing it, because I knew it was coming. But again, it just taught me to focus on where I am now and not about over there or over there. Just literally where my feet, they're here. It's all good. A step, a step, a step, and we'll face the chimney when it comes. And that's what we should do in life. Face things when they come. If they scare us, there's no point worrying about it twice or 3 times or 4 times. Just worry about it when you're there. Chuck yourself into the fear bubble when that bubble arrives. So we're just approaching the chimney, and then we go up at that vertical bit there, climb up that, and that takes us all the way to the summit of Helvellyn. But first we have to tackle the chimney, which is a vertical down drop that just suddenly disappears down there somewhere. We're coming to that right now. And those 2 rocks there symbol the chimney. Just on the other side of those. This is the chimney. This man's making his way down. And that is the chimney from the other side of it. Climbed all the way from the top there, all the way down that face. You will be surprised, everyone, of what you're capable of. And you'll also be surprised at when you actually finally get to somewhere, that it's not actually how you envisioned it to be. Your imagination starts running away with yourself, and you start fearing the worst, and the worst often doesn't happen. Like 90% of the time, it's a lot easier than you think. The mind creates this false reality about what you're about to face, and it never turns out that way. You'll also find that you're more capable than you think. When you get to that point that you thought you couldn't handle, you'll handle it. Now it's time for this. The vertical climb. Once this is over and done with, it's a scramble to the summit to see my old man. So it's up, almost vertical, up, up, and up, and up. This is going to be a bit of a technical climb, but it's doable, and it's not as vertical as it seems. Once again, your mind will play tricks on you when you look at something from afar. If you just concentrate on one step at a time. This is becoming a bit of a moral to this video, isn't it? Although you do need 2 hands. So as you can see, there's not really a path up this way. You know, I don't know who made it like this, but you literally just put your hands and your feet on whatever rock feels the best rock to put your feet and your hands on. And just concentrate and take one rock at a time. Lovely views with red tarn. Okay, so this is the hardest part of the entire hike so far, because it's a vertical climb and you just have to put your feet on these things here. There is no real other way up, and it is a bit daunting, but you've just got to move. I am taking a bit of a risk here, only using 3 points of contact, but I want to capture how real this part is. And you have to put your feet sometimes on just little things like this. It's not really, there's not really any other way. That was dodgy. You just got to keep moving. It's all mindset. It's a mindset game more than anything. The more you hesitate, the more you will feel scared, and the more chance you are of just panicking. If you keep moving, you build momentum. With that momentum, it takes you forward. Once again, a metaphor for life. Whew. Okay, that's the worst bit over. As you can see, it's got a steep. That's the chimney. Look at that view of Striding Edge. And there you have it. Piece of cake. Striding Edge. Summit Helvellyn. Striding Edge. Red Tarn. Swirral Ridge.
The summit of Helvellyn really did resemble my dad's death. And I found my dad up on the summit. His presence was there, and I could feel him saying hello. It was worth the journey, worth pushing yourself through fear, because that really is where growth is. And there was my dad. Came to say hello, look, right at the end. See you later, Dad.